And welcome back to 23 ABC News at 5, continuing our in-depth coverage of the Ward 5 City Council race just 1 week away from today. We're joined live in studio here by Ryan Nance, candidate for that position. Ryan, you have 22 years experience as a carpenter. You've born and raised in Bakersfield, went to school here. Viewers, just a moment ago, I got a little picture about why you're running. Talk about this race. You know, this has become, in the last few weeks, if folks are on Facebook and seeing the different campaigning, a lot of people will categorize this as a campaign that's gone negative. Why have we got there, and do you think is there any place room for this in this race, in the city council race?
So from our side, we are just strictly informative. You know, the things that we've brought to light about our opposition are things that the constituents have just been, pounding on our door with. I remember, after our opponent pulled papers, the people kept coming to me and saying, well, what about the lawsuits? How come no one's discussing all these lawsuits? How come no one's discussing, his past? These are examples of his leadership. So, that's what we've done. We've had the discussion, but that's purely informative.
And you're talking about Bruce Freeman, of course, the candidate that you guys have been essentially squaring off with on social media. I want to read something you posted on May 15th on Facebook. It said, "I am under attack by big business, big politics, and the establishment." You went on to say Bruce Freeman has hired special interest groups. Well, in a post today, Bruce Freeman essentially said the same thing about you, saying there's two choices here. On one hand, proven business leader. On the other hand, someone who's accepted $200,000 from special interest groups. At the end of the day, do you fear that folks may get tired of this sort of, we come off the 2016 election with the president, Donald Trump. That was a contentious battle. Do you fear this may keep people from going to vote? And what would your message be to those folks tonight? So
there's differences in our background. The differences in our background is with a developer that he came from. He keeps talking about his business, background. But remember, and people need to remember too, the background was in residential housing and what we consider strip malls. I'm a construction professional. That's where my background is. I've built a lot of the landmark projects in our city. And, that's what our city council votes on and makes their decisions on primarily is city-funded infrastructure projects. That's what our big decision-making, money is spent on. So that's my area of expertise. That's what I bring to the table. So that's what I always go back to. I mean, that's where I come from.
Obviously, the seat was vacated earlier this year, near the first of the year. You ran prior to that. What made you, you're a family guy, you're a busy guy, as
right.
We've seen. What made you want to get back into this and really spend the majority of your time on this?
So that's what I've always done. I've always given back to the community. Like I said earlier, I used to build, skateboard ramps for, young people, and then as it moved on, I moved into handicap ramps. I do that on the side. And this was just another way to give back. I mean, I started going to city council meetings years ago and seeing how much of our agenda was focused on infrastructure, water infrastructure, transportation infrastructure. This is my area of expertise. This is what I'm good at. And as we're going into huge projects like the Centennial Corridor, 24th Street widening, but people need to remember too, like Lake Isabella Dam. This is a major project, and this involves our city. So we need one person on that city council that's a construction expert, and that's what I am.
So election day, obviously 1 week away. If you are not the winner, will you still be involved with the local community? As you mentioned, you're born and raised here.
Yeah.
What do you see as the outcome if for say you don't get this?
Yeah, no, and we don't have a backup plan as far as that way. I mean, we're literally as committed to this 100% as we can be. If things don't work out, then we'll go from there. But I always give back. I mean, that's what we've always done. They're great organizations. MS Society, we volunteer with them, and Rebuilding Together Kern County, another great organization. And there are different ways that we always give back. But yeah, we're not going anywhere.
All right. Well, Ryan Nance, candidate for the Ward 5 seat. If you missed our feature earlier tonight, the profile on Ryan, we have that online at our website, turnto23.com. Also a Facebook page, 23 ABC Bakersfield. Thank you for your time, and thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
And we will say, be sure to stick with 23 ABC in the coming days here as we, this week, will prepare for this special election. Tomorrow, we'll continue a look at each of the three candidates as we speak with Bruce Freeman tomorrow. And then later this week, we'll talk to Noel Piano. He'll be here as well for a live interview. You can catch all those interviews again on our 23 ABC Facebook page this week, on our website, turnto23.com, as we will continue this special coverage of this election coming up a week from today. Now.